Hey everyone, welcome back. Can you believe it is October? My mind is crazy. So, with it being October, that means we are gearing up for writing 50,000 words in the month of November. I know this is the busy season, right? With Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. There's so much happening in these last 3 months of the year, but they are my favorite. And with gearing up for a new story, it's even more exciting. So, this is the first video in 2025's Preptober series, and I am going to be talking to you about how I'm prepping and doing a little brainstorm of my story. And I'm going to show you my Scrivener file and getting that all set up. Well, right now you might be thinking, oh, my background looks pretty clean, right? Well, it is a hot mess here at my desk. And when this place gets cluttered, I cannot concentrate. And so, wherever you are thinking of writing for the month of November, take time to gather your supplies, get a nice clean slate, and actually clean the area, as in disinfect, dust, whatever you need to do. To have a clean, fresh space will help with unlocking creativity as well as just making you feel a lot better going into writing so many words. So, my plan is to clean all of my desk up, and I'm hoping I will feel so much better because of it, because I have not been working at my desk because of it. I've actually been doing all my brainstorming either in the living room or on my recliner here in the office, since it's kind of out of the way a little bit. So let's go take a look at what I have and start decluttering my space. This is the mess I was talking about. Lots of different papers, and my little book cart is all messy, and way over there that desk is messy too. So I need to clean all of this stuff in order to be focused and say hello to Tux. So I think I'm going to start off with this desk here, and what I'm actually going to do is I have this laundry basket from my laundry that I haven't taken downstairs. And what I'm going to do is grab everything off of the desk, wipe it down, and then go through what is in here. Because why not try to get everything cleared and then go through things, right? So I'm going to go grab a rag and then we will get started.
Drinking all this coffee. These last few weeks have been exhausting. I'm lost in my imagination, and there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? Yeah. And there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? I might lose my mind, waking when the sun's down, riding all these highs, waiting for the calm down. Walk these streets with me, I'm doing decently, just glad that I can breathe, yeah. I'm trying to realize it's alright to not be fine on your own. Now I'm shaking, drinking all this coffee. These last few weeks have been
place is looking so much better, and I'm feeling ready to start brainstorming. So this November, I am going to be writing a romantic suspense. So this is a different genre, but I'm going back to more of the roots of the cozy mystery, since there will be a little mystery in it, but I also want to keep that romantic element that I have been writing since, I guess, the beginning of the year, and I have more to go with that pen name, but I'm going back to the mystery genre, and so I thought this was the perfect opportunity. And with this story, I want to try to go for a traditional publisher. Will that work out? Maybe, maybe not. But I want to just try it out, right? And I thought this was the great opportunity. There is no timeline on when this would be published. I don't have a title or book cover or any of that, so I think this is like a great opportunity. If you want to try something new for November, go for it. I am all with you. So what I am following is the trellis method that I have talked about in a previous video, and it goes where you plan, you outline, then you write, publish, and promote. So right now I am in the planning phase, and this is my Scrivener doc. So I have it all situated where I plan, outline, I have my manuscript. And if I go here, there is a lot of information on the side. And there's my screen. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to share it. And what I have is my genre is a kind of questions to think about, right? So romantic suspense, romantic thriller. So you have like high stakes. It's following a couple that develop that romantic bond. It's justice, injustice, but also love conquers all. And so this is just some questions that I have here. This is all part of the Trellis Method by Grant Ferguson, who has the blog Tame Your Book. If you're interested, it is so great. I think I mentioned it before, but I'll try to leave the link down to his blog. It's a lot of great information. So, right, I have my genre figured out. So that's important to start off while you are prepping, is what genre do you want to write? And then the next thing is start thinking about your premise. Your premise might change a little bit as your story morphs during this planning phase. And already from what I have, it has already changed. So my original idea for the story was a journalist hunting for a story, gets swept in her own criminal journalistic story, and with the help of an army ranger that helped find the truth. So I'm just thinking of these what if questions, like what if the journalist who's haunted by her own past are exposed while the investigating a story abroad. So I was like, the heroine could be an investigative journalist. We have an army ranger. And they're just kind of digging a little deeper. It's like, what if her childhood best friend was kidnapped and killed? She found her by the river, right? That is an incentive to dig deeper into this story, right? And your hero, maybe he's discharged for injury, right? Then you have his wound, which is a physical wound, but also could be an emotional wound, right? That trauma. So just start thinking of those things. So keep doing what if, until you start narrowing down what you want this story to be. And so, right, I'm still thinking about, okay, maybe an international trip. The heroine is investigating. The hero maybe be on vacation. And then this is when I'm kind of digging a little bit deeper. And so I'm like, okay, what about like a people alphabet murder? So, right, I'm thinking about Agatha Christie. I think it was like called the ABC Murders. She has that book. And so then I'm like, okay, the journalist who wants to do crime, but maybe she does sports reporting. And so I'm like, what if the neighborhood's grandson is visiting? He's an Army Ranger on leave, maybe? Through the interview, maybe she's going to interview, family is important, right? What if parents die in a car crash when he was in college, so he joins the army instead, right? So I'm just going in and thinking of whatever pops into my head. And one thing is that you could do this on Word, Google Docs. I'm using Scrivener, or you could do it in a physical notebook. So this is my writing kit, if you will. So I have my monthly calendar, and this is going to be to mark down. I kind of have it blocked off for what I need to be working on. So next week, I need to be working on the characters, so diving into them, their background. And I also had, which I'm upset that I had to do this, but I was going to be releasing my Icarus Bluff series for Lottie Lumley, so my paranormal romance pen name. And I decided to cancel that pre-order because I am not ready. I'm going to be rapid releasing those. And so I was not quite ready, and I didn't want to put too much pressure on, especially since I'm writing a whole new story. And I realized I multitask, and I shouldn't. It just doesn't work for me. So I canceled that. I felt really, really bad. So I had to email those people on that newsletter and be like, hey, sorry, I'm going to do this. Hopefully they're not mad, and those people that did pre-order will rebuy the book when it's out. But anyways, so then I have this new B6 notebook, and I've started playing around with like the hero, kind of like going over like the skeleton, so the major beats, and kind of like the genre, the publisher that I'm trying to target. So I am going to be targeting Harlequin Intrigue book line, which means it is 55,000 to 60,000 words. So this, if I hit 50,000, I am almost there. So that's kind of like what prompted me to do this kind of story as well. So I'm going to be using for notebook for, I think, better on paper. So I have that as an option. But then I also have my Scrivener doc that has, it's great because this is where I'll be writing in as well. So then moving on is, this comes from K.M. Weiland. So she has an amazing Scrivener file that you can download and upload. And this is, it kind of like breaks up to, start scripting your premise. So this is me digging a little deeper, following her 2-sentence premise of Star Wars. So what I have is still not complete, but I'm getting closer on it. So we have Eloise Decker. So she's a journalist working on a story about maybe a bank robbery, or maybe it could be something else. So that's kind of what's happening in the normal world. Her main goal is, I'm going to have her as a sports reporter, and she wants to move into investigative journalism, there's crimes that are happening. And so she goes to her manager. So maybe her house gets broken in, because that would be a disaster for the first plot point, moving into the second act. And then how will, the opposition create conflict there's going to be some connection with the victims. So I have this base idea. And so what I need to do is kind of map it out like this, and I can have my 2-sentence premise. So that is what I am trying to do. And I also have from the Trellis method some more information on other things for breaking down your premise. So that's my premise worksheet. And honestly, I don't think I wrote anything in this. No. So that is something I could do, is go in and pull this information. So that is my first thing that I have been working on, is getting my premise, diving deeper into it to try to find, right, the root of it. And once you have that great foundation, it will help build your story once you get to the outlining phase. And so still in this planning phase is the characters. So what I have done, it is not that great to look at, is I got this idea from James Scott Bell, and it is a character grid, I guess you could say, is all about the connections of each character. So I left out the opposition because I didn't want to have any spoilers. Hopefully this doesn't. But so you have your characters going across. So I have Eloise, I have Gavin, I have the opposition, which is like our evil guy. Our coach, our grandma, a reporter friend, the boss, a secretary friend, a military friend, and a military friend. So those are my cast. And so then you do another, going based on the rows, is the connection between each of the other characters. And I think this is genius. I never thought of this until I was reading, I'm trying to think, I think it was Plot or Suspense and one of his books. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I was like, this is genius. Why don't I give this a shot? So we have Eloise to Eloise, nothing there. So we have who Gavin is to Eloise. So I haven't plugged that one in, the opposition to Eloise. But I have here the coach is to Eloise. So the swim coach for 20 years. He's the mentor, supportive, always ready to listen to Eloise's life update. Then we have like the grandma. So it's the neighbor to Eloise, looks after her monthly dinners, games, movie nights. And then we have the reporter, is the co-worker, supportive of Eloise in her dream to move to the crime section, helps her out. And then it continues, and then I will go down and fill out everything. I think this is a great way if you're trying to get an understanding of those characters and how they relate to one another. So once I finish the premise, I'll continue filling out that form, and then I could dive deeper into my characters. So I got my relationship chart, then I could dive deeper into the flaw, the misbelief, all of those character arc information that I need. And this is going to be a dual POV. I don't want to write a dual POV, but that is what the genre has, so that is what I'm going to do. And then, still in this planning phase, is going over the plot and the theme. So, the plot is, let's pull it up, right? I got some of these general ideas, which I don't even know if I filled this one out. Nope, I did not. So, basically, I already have the plot thought about, and I did put that in my notebook, so I have that, but I could go in and flush this out a little bit. And then the next one is the theme, right? I'm trying to think, no. So a lot of this stuff is from Cam Weiland or the Trellis method Word docs that I just uploaded. So I feel like this is a lot. So that is my Scrivener file of getting situated with the foundation I need in order to start drafting. So that is my plan. And what I'm actually going to be doing is doing a whole new style for my process. So I hate revisions, and I know that, and every time I write, I struggle once it gets to the revision stage. So with that being said, I'm going to do a layer skeleton draft with revision built in. So I know the concept is writing 50,000 words. You don't edit as you go, right? You just go straight rough draft and then be done. I'm going to do a loop method where I will draft the first chapter for day 1. Then day 2, draft the second, or scenes, chapters, whatever to hit my word target, right? And then on day 2, I'm going to go back to what I wrote on day 1, flesh it out, adding another layer to it, whether that is adding sensory details, more narrative exposition, whatever it may be, more dialogue, and then continue doing a skeleton draft for the next scene, chapter, whatever. Then day 3, I will go back to day 1's work, day 2's work, flesh it out, then continue to do a 0 draft of day 3's work. So I'm going to try this loop. We'll see how long it lasts, because it seems like it's a lot more work. But the hope is at the end of the story, I have gone through it multiple passes, that it should be a little cleaner than how I typically have written in the past. So we're going to try that new way of writing and see if it's a yay or a nay on my workflow. I think that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys are gearing up for Preptober, getting your fingers ready to write, and let me know in the comments down below if you're participating in writing 50,000 words or a different word count for the month of November, and what you're doing to prep for it. Until next time, bye guys, happy writing.